Hello YouTube world, Crazy Eddie here, Edward John Jeski. It is Thursday the 13th of March 2025 at 1:44 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Lincoln, Nebraska, stinking Lincoln, Nebraska. And so I just was looking here at the temperature because I don't have the radiator fan set back in, but then I'm again noticing that my short-term field trims are considerable lower. The map is still a question if that device is dysfunctioning, but I had to switch also the not only the timing, but the other day I was getting a really erratic shutdown, and it seemed to be non-mechanical again, and definitely was nothing to do with the timing. And I ended up swapping out the throttle position sensor. But if you look at the, let's go up here and I'll just try to highlight it. If you look at the short-term field trim, other times when I first got this car, it would go as high as like 29–30%. And then I put in the air filtration sensor eventually, and then that changed. But then it would still go again a lot higher than this at idle. Remember, idle is probably the easiest time for the car to be able to calculate anything, so it makes no sense that it runs it so rich at idle. And now, mind you, there's no change in the intake gasket, the exhaust gasket. So the only thing that's changed now since the previous times that I made video, an E-jar is not open unless it's a little bit plugged open, because that would change the map reading then too, in terms of when you accelerate, the map does not change then for some strange reason, and so I'm thinking that that is then dysfunctional. But that's sure a lot better to look at than much higher than that at idle, and then watch it go down when I increase on the RPMs. That's just ridiculous. With the throttle position sensor, guys, it's going to be kind of tricky to know if the resistance and whatever other readings come out right. There's going to be sections in the trace inside there that might be not transmitting the signal correctly, and I'm going to relate it to that potentially. Not based on visual, based on someone else's video who actually opened up the throttle position sensor. But now you can see it, mysteriously jumped up there again. So that's even way too much for that load and the severe amount of vibration there that it's not at any high RPM. Let's get to here so you can see the RPMs vary from about 688 to about 750. So let's just say 650 to 750. If that's reading correctly, that's kind of strange, because normally that should be running about 15 right now. So why it's advancing at 20, I don't know. And for the throttle position sensor, it's hard to get this thing calibrated under 4%. I don't know what it's actually supposed to be. I couldn't find any data in terms of calibrating it from a scan tool, only the voltage ways. Well, let's go down to the exhaust. Then you can see again, however, like, no matter what that says on the short-term field trim and long-term field trims, you can clearly see it's running rich as way too much. And that is all postcat. That's so trying to make anything off this other sensor, it makes such small, very small, minute changes. You can only see that it's doing its jumping around, but that's it. So I'm wondering if this happens to be fouled up, oil or coolant fouled up. But nonetheless, the computer is like, it's not listening to this other than to say that, okay, it's jumping around, but I wonder if it's going from a different set of values, that it's always so rich. Remember, that's post-cat, so that's way too rich. And I wonder if the vibration is because it is the fact that it's way too rich. So I just put on the other harmonic balancer and I can see that that's better. Alright, so I'm going to keep it short at that. Let me go back up and check it one more time. Make sure I'm not overheating too. I'm making a video and I'm forgetting about that. Okay, 176, 180. And yes, it is a closed loop. But that previously the computer went erratic and said that the front or upstream or air fuel ratio sensor wasn't working, and it's like as if it shut it down. But when I did a clear function or erase function, whoop, then it functioned normally again since then. So it's really strange. I ended up leaving the key on overnight, and so I had to use my jump pack, but it only started low like this. Normally it goes up to about 1500 RPM and then comes down. So low voltage does then do stuff to the computer, but that is certainly much better there to see that. And yet still look at how rich it's potentially running between a leaking fuel injector and whatever else is going on, because I wonder if it's doing these operations as separate circuits within the computer, but in reality the computer may have decided, oh, I don't like some of the signals I'm getting, and it just reverts back to a preset table for its values of how to operate. Given the fact that when you look at the output from the catalytic converter, it's way too damn rich, and it's plenty more. So, you know, that should very quickly be out of a warm-up mode and into very leaning it out. And by smell, it's never leaned it out yet. All right, so that's it. Have a good day. Please like and support Crazy Eddie, Eddie Sasquatch at proton.me.